Many people ask me, Dr. Smith, how can I reduce stress? Or during these times of great fear and uncertainty, what are some techniques that I can use to move forward so that I'm not moving forward in fear and anxiety? And right now, people are experiencing anxiety and stress and depression. That's why I made Filling Your Cup Part 1, where I talked about art and all kinds of ways that you can reduce your stress. In this video, Part 2, I want to give you more ways where you can not just distract from the world, but you know that the world is in chaos, but you found your happy place. And you can be attuned to what's going on in the world, but it doesn't have to cause the stress and anxiety, because the peace can be found within you. And one of the things that I'd like to share with you, and it sounds counterintuitive, it's like, Karmen, why would I dance if I'm stressed? Well, do you know that starting your day or in the middle of your day or even after dinner, you can find ways to increase your vibration so that you're not stuck in fear, limitation, that you can increase your vibration of happiness, compassion, and love by dancing, by putting on your favorite dance tunes and just dancing with the family or just dancing by yourself. That is a way that you can bring forth love into your life, bring forth strength and happiness and joy. So you don't have to wait to go to a club, wait till clubs open up. You don't have to wait until live venues open up. You can put on your favorite artist and have a concert in your living room. And so during these times, we need to step out of the box, out of the matrix, and find ways that we can bring bliss into our life. I start my day with music and just sometimes dancing to it, sometimes just listening to it. Usually the music that I pick has an uplifting, upbeat message. It's not depressing or anything like that. And the tone that I'm setting at the beginning of my day is joyful. The other thing is singing. Now, I remember my grandmother and my mom would sing when they were doing housework or something like that. And so singing really is a way to increase your vibration. You might say to yourself, if you're not a professional singer, well, Karmen, I don't sing. Nobody wants to hear me sing. This is something that is therapeutic. So think of it that way. Nobody's paying you to sing, so it doesn't matter if you are on pitch or anything. What matters is what's in your heart. And if you want to increase your vibration, pick a song that is just vibrant and speaks happiness. And just sing while you're cleaning or doing whatever, or in your car, which I am definitely known to do. And of course, you could sing in your shower. The other thing is gardening. Gardening or growing something, growing plants, pets. But gardening is really an interesting way to reduce stress. And I recommend it if you have a green thumb. If not, you can go out in nature, which we'll talk about later on in the video. Another way is nurturing something. Nurturing pets or kids, those are also ways that you can reduce stress. Now, I know what you're saying. Kids can be stressful, but there are times when they're not. There are times when they have a lot of wisdom. There are times when you can gain a lot of gratitude from watching and being around your kids. Pets give unconditional love, and that's why adoptions are skyrocketing right now and the shelters may be more empty, because people during the pandemic want something or someone to love. And so pets offer that to us unconditionally. So in this video, I'm going to also talk about and show you ways that you may not have thought of that can increase your mental health, increase your happiness, even though there's chaos. And so thank you for tuning into this video. And I suggest that you think outside of the box and find your happy. This is Dr. Karmen Smith. I'm a spiritual teacher and mental health therapist. And I wanted to share with you today some of the techniques that can be used for stress relief. Many of them you may not have even related to healthy mental health. Well, you may have heard of a stress ball. Now, many of these stress balls are used, and when you're angry or when you have an emotional trigger, you have a stress ball and you start squeezing it. In other words, you're channeling some of that energy into this ball. So you've heard of that. But do you know that you can also channel that energy into something like a musical instrument? Now, many of our ancestors and people all over the world have used instruments, rattles, things that make a vibrational frequency to channel some of that anger or some of that stress or some of that joy into music. But not just music, but sound. So I'm sharing with you some of the ways that when you are feeling joyful, you can express yourself by making sound. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to take lesson after lesson to be a musician and a professionally trained musician. This is how you can channel some of your joy and transmute some of your anger into a vibrational wave. So if I'm feeling joyful, it might be like, and I might be smiling because I'm channeling all of that joy into a vibrational instrument. By the same token, if I've heard some bad news or if I'm in grief, I can channel that also until I can recognize that I can change that frequency into joy as I'm processing the sadness. So you can have several different beautiful instruments. You can have several handmade instruments. This is from a coconut. A squash. I want you to recognize that it doesn't have to be the best instrument or the most expensive instrument. This can be something that indigenous people have made, something that is ornate, that you can just feel into it. Or you can take lessons and be a maestro, but you don't have to. Some of these instruments you'll recognize. And what you're doing, you're sending out that vibrational energy. And that is very healing, not only to you, but to the consciousness or the energy that the world is presenting. Especially now, there's a lot of fear, a lot of stress, a lot of anger. But did you know that you can transmute it with the frequency of your vibration, and you can contribute something to it and transmute it or change it? So I encourage you to have different instruments in your home. This drum can travel with me. So even if I'm on the beach or somewhere, I can just be changing the frequency, letting the universe know, of course, I'm here and all is well. Now, many of you may have heard of a drum circle. A drum circle is when strangers from all over come together with different vibrational drums. And based on their energy, they're putting that beat onto the drum. The waves are going out, and someone will synchronize, and the whole crowd will synchronize to a tone, to a beat, to a rhythm, and be in harmony with each other. So if you've never been to a drum circle, never participated in a drum circle, I would recommend that. They're very healing. You'll usually find them at festivals or at beaches, and one of the ones that I would go to was at Venice Beach. Rattles are also very healing. I took these 2 rattles to Sedona, Arizona, and just by playing these and putting my intention of health and healing into the universe, that makes a difference. And you've heard that old saying that a butterfly can flap its wings in one part of the world and there's a tsunami in another, and that the wings of the butterfly cause that tsunami. Based on our powerful vibration of emotion, if we have a thought of well-being and we can feel it within our heart, and then we can match that vibration with a rattle or with any type of instrument, we're changing the universe with our thoughts. So just as you've heard that if someone is angry in a room, or someone is angry and pissed off and they come to work, pretty soon the whole office feels it. Well, imagine if you were with the vibration of love and compassion. The whole earth knows that something is going on with the force because you're not matching everybody else's anger. So I challenge you to match the vibration of love and compassion, and also couple it with a vibrational tone. The rain stick is a very pivotal instrument. And I have several over here. Let me just bring them over. I want you to know that the rain stick is very crucial and was created in indigenous cultures. The reason it sounds like the rain and the reason that it is called a rain stick was when they wanted rain, they didn't plead or say, please let it rain. What they did was say, thank you for the rain, even though the rain hadn't come yet. They imagined the rain on their face, but most of all, they could hear the rain. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for the rain. We're grateful for all of the rain. And I have this one rain stick from Indonesia, painted beautifully. And you can just hear the rain. So when you're in a mood and you'd like to really get out of the mood, you just say, I'm so grateful for everything. And you feel into that tone of gratitude. Very healing. The other thing I'd like to share with you is that when my son was little and he still believed in Santa Claus, I remember it was Christmas Eve and he was tucked in his bed, and outside of his door I had this instrument, and I said, Lauren, I think it's Santa. Well, what I didn't know is that he came rushing out of the room, saw me with this, and said, Mom, you're Santa. I was busted. But I love this instrument because it just reminds you of reindeer. The last thing I'd like to show you, and I have several instruments. Actually, this is one of my favorites. I mean, you can be in such a happy mood and take your happy elephant and just go to town with it. I mean, you're putting the vibration out there of your mood. So grateful, so grateful. And also, if you have eggs, these beautifully carved eggs, each one of them is different, is a special rattle because you can take them anywhere and just have a samba and increase and upload all of that joy from this vibration. The last thing that I'd like to show you is my big surprise. This is my Taiko drum, which I've used in drum circle ceremony and shamanic ceremony. So I used to, when there was a full moon or a blood moon, we would play music, the family would get together and we would drum, and each person would have an instrument, and we would synchronize and go into a group meditation. So, do you want to know how loud this thing is? And I apologize to my neighbors ahead of time. And that vibration just stays. Wow. So you can see how big and strong you are with your big Taiko drum. You can get into a mood of strength and power, and you can beat your drum and know that the world is going to be in sync with your vibration. You don't have to conform with the world, what the world is doing, because inside your vibrational circle is where reality is created. So I challenge you, I suggest to you, to think of the universe in terms of vibration and frequency, and surround yourself with instruments that increase, heighten your vibration. Love you. Meditation or contemplation. And basically, since we've been in a lockdown and kind of quarantined, it's been an opportunity to slow down and slow the pace of all the information coming in, getting down to what's most important, our families, love, and connection. And we've certainly missed that connection with the outside world, with family and friends and extended friends and traveling and all of those kinds of things that we may have taken for granted. But this is also an excellent opportunity to go within yourself and make that connection. So what does that mean? That means that oftentimes when we're in a hurried world, we're always bombarded with information. And so we are so connected to our social media, our cell phone, the television, and all of these things coming into our mind, and it can overload our mind. So meditation offers an opportunity to drop down into your heart and really connect with that which is powerful and eternal, that never changes. And it provides a calm throughout your day. So having a meditation practice can really benefit you and your family and the world. So I wanted to talk to you today about some of the things that you can add to your meditation. For those of you who have never meditated before, it's not rocket science, and you don't have to take course after course to learn how to do it. You just have to develop a practice, meaning that you do this every day, several times a day, where you can quiet your mind. And that can look different to different people, but there can be other things that you implement. So for example, with me, all around my house, I have things that calm my soul, things that really bring me peace. So not only do I have my son's artwork around me from when he was in kindergarten, which is really just a wonderful expression of the love that he has inside of him, but I also have other things. So this right here is a fun little thing that I picked up. This frog is in deep meditation. I also have Buddhas that have this quiet, blissful feeling and expression within themselves. It's whimsical, but it also reminds me of what's important, which is inside of me. Also, you can burn incense, so you can have little incense holders, and you can or you cannot. It doesn't matter if you do or you don't. It's just something that some people do. You can also, this is from indigenous cultures, burn sage, which is called smudging. And that's where you burn it and you're cleaning out all of the negative energy or the lower frequency energy, but it also sanitizes a room. So saging or smudging is something that you can do. And in the indigenous cultures, you would smudge, and this is in African cultures, Aboriginal, and you push it with your blessing fan. So you're purifying the environment and you're pushing in your vibrational energy, which is higher. And we'll talk about higher and lower frequency, but there's also something that amplifies a frequency, and those are crystals. So crystals, as you know, quartz crystals are used in computers and cell phones. They're used in technology for memory, and they hold, each stone holds a particular memory. This is a pink quartz, and it is known for increasing the love vibration. So this is wonderful amplifier. I have crystals all around my house. You can have crystals or not have crystals. Amethyst is another one that increases that love and your intention of good into the world. And a lot of people use candles. This particular candle holder says, I have plans to prosper you and not to harm you. So in these times, you need constant reminders to your spirit of the truth, because lies are always bombarding our TV set and can come in many different ways. But your home is your sanctuary. That is where it is a sacred space that connects your heart and your mind to the eternal spirit and energy. Another thing is sound. So rattles are very soothing, especially if it's in a constant space. And it lets you know that that vibration is going out into the universe that you're creating. So whatever is in your heart, you're amplifying it. Just like with the crystals, the rattle does the same thing. Drums do the same thing. So musical instruments are a vibration. Notes are a vibration, frequency. That's where we get these terms from. Your heart and your mind, when they're synchronized, when they all are on the same page, you increase your vibrational energy. It goes out into the universe and you are creating what it is that you have an intention for. So when your heart and your mind are synced up and you amplify that into the world, you become the change that you want to see in the world. So this is powerful. This is why meditation is so key, self-contemplation. Now you can also have living plants in your space when you're doing it as well, because everything is alive in this living plant. It has the vibration of life, which is also in you, which is also amplifying your meditational practice. Here's another example of sound where you can have different things in your environment, beautiful tone. That's why when you see people doing their meditation, they will have a gong to start their meditation or to end it. They'll also have singing bowls where the humming just increases the vibration of your chakras. It amplifies them so that your energy is more full. So I want you to know that you can implement any of these things into your space where you do your self-contemplation. There are other things that you can get that can do that amplification as well, that can help you with the vibration and put you in that calming space. Just by me hitting these tones, It's amplifying what I already feel within my heart and my mind. So I can feel that being amplified out. So all of these things are easily accessible. And you can just have your space where you feel safe. You can start your music. And you can sit and with your breath, go in. Out. Slowing your breath. So as you can see, that by setting your space, tuning out the outside world, increasing your vibration of hope and compassion, you can override, transmute, change the energy that is happening in the world that is chaotic. But you do it by personal transformation and the awareness that you have the power within you to do that. Love you.